Thank you very much, and thank you for having me this morning. It has been helpful. We indeed welcome the president's comments about, reduction of chicken imports. It's something that we have worked very hard, together with Minister Patel and Minister Didiza through the, South African Poultry Association. So we really welcome the president's comments.
People who are struggling perhaps to connect the dots, help us understand why this is important, right? Why would farmers in South Africa want fewer chickens from outside, especially if, as some people might argue, chickens from outside might be cheaper?
Thank you very much. Indeed, chickens from outside is cheaper, and it's, destroying our local production. If you look at the statistics, we have been importing over, 500,000 tons of chicken every year. And that has come in, at prices that are totally, causing the local industry to be uncompetitive. And what we like the most about what the president said yesterday is that we need to stimulate local production and local consumption. Because when we look at the unemployment figures, we are not doing very well. When we look at the poultry sector, it is that sector that will enable us to be able to absorb unemployment and also increase consumption of the grain, that is produced locally. And we also welcome his recognition that he was able to see that the local industry has invested over 800 million. As a small, mediums producer, we have also invested a lot of resources into this sector because we believe in local production for our chicken.
Motsepe, let me bring you into the conversation. We also have been told of 4 master plans that have been completed and signed. Are you able to give us a bit more details about what these entail and how they're helpful?
I think I would like to start by really congratulating the president for really approaching the future of our country in terms of business principles. We need to understand that we do not eat politics. I think generally the master plans are geared towards ensuring that the farmers of our country could work together, identify the bottlenecks and gaps, resolve those bottlenecks and gaps, and ensure that we create job opportunities for all in South Africa. And indeed, when you look at master plans like poultry, I think that at the level of government, at the level of the ministerial level, I think that engagement is continuing very well. And I think we need to congratulate many people that have put this master plan and other plans together, because it can no longer really be business as usual. And I think that South Africa is going to be enjoying unbelievable growth potential. And I think that is what the president has said. In unpacking the master plans in general terms, I think their central objective is generally to promote transformation, which has been a problem in the agricultural sector in South Africa, and therefore increase food security and indeed accelerate the opening of the markets, really whereupon big retailers, smallholder farmers, everybody, black and white, would come together and share the markets in the best interest of the future of the sector in South Africa. And of course, also to promote competitiveness and entrepreneurial opportunities in our country, which has actually not been happening over the last 27 years. And I think we also need to appreciate that the master plans, the 4 master plans you are referring to, are also creating an effective, farmer support that support everyone, black and white farmers in our country. Right. In conclusion, I think we need one another, and every farmer must work with every farmer in South Africa so that South Africa can proceed as a competitive edge internationally.
Right. And, the president, to his credit, also mentioned at the beginning of his address yesterday that a lot of our successes are going to come from collaboration. Tumisang, given that, do you feel enough collaboration is taking place within the sector as the situation stands?
Well, as the National African Farmers Union of South Africa, we have actually put a plan in 2006 to say that you can actually bring in one of the best agricultural ministers, one of the best, civil service in the department. If the collaboration is not going to be enabled, then it is as good as forgetting about anything that would ever happen. And I'm saying this because there is no way that government can work with 2011 or many farmer formations. I think farmers in South Africa, big retailers in South Africa, research companies and so on need to come together, to work together, to collaborate jointly together so that we can actually be a winning agricultural nation. If you look at the food security...
Sorry for interrupting you there. I was just hoping to also get insight from Tumisang, who's also joining us on this conversation. Your points are heard and well taken. Tumisang, are these ideas translating on the ground, so to speak? I mean, you yourself are a poultry farmer. Do you get a sense that, in fact, part of the components that are missing, even though we have a winning formula, is this collaboration?
Look, there's starting to be some differences taking place in the ground. When you look at the labor sector that contributed to the master plan, the spirit was one, the importers and the local producers ourselves, for us to end up having this document. It shows that there is collaboration taking place. However, there is still more that needs to be done. I agree with Ntate Motsepe, implementation. And we realize that government has got good programs, but they take a very long time to implement. One of those good programs was commercialization of, black farmers. That program has since not yet been implemented. And it's one of those type of things that, it delays the outcomes that we are talking about. So we are hoping that now that the president has put a spotlight on this, we are going to see greater progress, especially for small-scale farmers, the transformation that needs to take place in our sector.
Absolutely. A story that will undoubtedly be on our radar for months to come. Thanks very much for both your takes on the program today. Tumisang Mokwene is a poultry farmer. Also joining us was Ntate Motsepe Matlala, who's the National African Farmers Union President. Both of you, once again, thanks very much indeed.